Guys, welcome back. Okay, so today's video is going to be just a quick little roundup of the palettes that I've used over the last couple of months. It hasn't been a lot. You guys know I haven't really been playing in makeup, you know, a lot over the last, I would say this year, just in general, but I really am just getting back into the groove. So some of these palettes I used like quite a while ago, and some of them I used recently, but that's what this is. I usually add my thoughts about palettes I've used and show you guys certain looks in my Shop My Stash, but my Shop My Stash was a little long, a little crazy. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna split it up so it won't be too much more of a long video. So let me just start off by the look that I have on today. I created using my Shrek palette, okay? And I don't know if you guys are even going to see that video. I'm still feeling a little devastated over the situation that occurred with using this palette, because I did a whole video full face doing this whole look and my mic was off. And so when I went to go edit the video, there was no sound, and it's just, that is like so devastating. If you're a content creator, you know what I mean. You know how I'm feeling. You sit, you put in an hour, hour and a half of work doing a whole video, and the sound is not there. It's gone. I mean, I literally was like, no sound at all, not even a little bit. So I don't know if you guys are going to see that video or not. I feel like it was a great video, so I might do a voiceover, but we'll see. So we'll just start out with this palette that I just used. I won't spoil my thoughts on it just in case I do put that video up. If I don't, you know, then I'll let you guys know. But I did use this new ColourPop and Shrek palette to create the look that I have on right now. So this is it. I like the look. I think it's cute. I think it's a little different, a little, you know, razzle dazzle or whatever. But yeah, so I did create this look using this palette, and I think I am still going to edit the video and do a voiceover, so I'll hold off on my thoughts about that. If I decide to scrap it, I'll let you know in another video. The next palette that I did use recently is this Morphe Python Code. I love the packaging on these new Morphe palettes. They are so cute. They have the larger palettes, and then they have these smaller palettes. So this one here is one of the cute little 6-pan palettes, and I think it is just so adorable. I really had a good time using this palette. I really enjoyed it. I'll scoochie a little bit so you can see the look that I created using this palette. I did do a video. Yeah, I did a video if you guys are curious, if you haven't already seen it. But this palette is so cute. I really like it. I full on used this palette, and as you can see, it looks brand new. It doesn't even look like I used it, but I did. And it's really pretty. So yeah, that's what that one looks like, and I definitely look forward to using it again. It's a really nice, easy palette to use. This next palette that I'll talk about here is this Question Beauty palette. This one is so pretty. I'll put the name of it on the screen, child, because like I said before, I don't ever remember the name of it. I feel like it's actually too long for a palette name. But it's really pretty, and I like their packaging because it has like these two, I think they're like really colorful moths. Really pretty on there, and then it has the shade names listed on the back here. But I like the packaging because I do like, even though it can be a little difficult, I like the magnetic cover that comes off. So it completely comes off. There's no mirror, but I don't really use palette mirrors anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But the colors in this palette are amazing. The quality is really nice, and so I really enjoyed using this palette. Look forward to using it again. It's beautiful, and it has some really amazing shimmers in there. So the next palette that I will show you guys is the Baroque. I did do a video. I might have done a video using all these palettes actually. Because usually I like to, you know, go ahead and use it on camera so you guys can get my thoughts and opinions. But this is the ColourPop Baroque palette. This palette came out years ago, okay? But I had never used it. It's not really a palette that I even would think about, because the color story is so unique. It's like it's a blue palette, but it's a very unique kind of smoky, dreary type blue grayish color tone, so, or color story. So I would say what I experienced with this palette, I love the eye look I created, and I was able to make it really pop, even though it's a smoky eye, you know, going in the inner corner with a super bright shade and everything. But this palette is very dark, so you don't have a lot of options for like light bright looks or mid-tone looks with this color story. It's very dark. So I do love that about it. If you have this palette, I would say take it out, play with it. If you have already, let us know your thoughts. But it's beautiful, and I really like how it came out with that red lip that I did with it. It was a pretty little pop, pretty little different type of vibe for your girl. Next, I have here the Cosmic Beauty Gothic palette. Another palette that I've had for a little while. I think I picked this up during one of their sales when they were having a nice sale, so I grabbed a few of the palettes that I didn't have in my collection already, because I do love Cosmic Beauty's formula. Their formula, their color stories, their palettes are really, really pretty. I mean, they perform amazingly, the shimmers as well as the mattes. And like I said, the color stories are just great. So I had a really good time using this palette. Very nicely pigmented. The shimmers are beautiful. I have no complaints about it. The only complaint I have is with the eye look that I did, because I went in starting with the cool tones and I really love the eye look. Then I decided to go in with some warm purples on the lower lash line, and it just pissed me off. But it came together in the end, and I really liked it. So yeah, this palette is beautiful. I don't know if it's still available, but you know, because and a lot of things are going on with all the tariffs and stuff. So I know some of these smaller indie brands that are like, you know, across the pond, as they say, or in different countries, and it might be a little more difficult for them to get their products made, get them shipped, higher costs, all of that stuff. It really sucks. So anywho, the next palette is this Sigma and the Little Mermaid collab palette. So I don't know, I love Sigma's palettes, like the way that they look. I like the layout. I like the combination of how they put their shimmers and their mattes and all that kind of stuff. I love their color stories, but I don't often think to pull my Sigma palettes. And so this was one, when I got it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to use it quickly before I put it on the shelf and forget about it. But it's like this color story, the shimmers, the mattes, is so pretty to me. It is so gorgeous, and I feel like it just created the prettiest Little Mermaid eye look. Quality was great. You know, I didn't have any problems or issues with the quality. I really, really like this. So yeah, I had fun with this palette. But I definitely need to remember to use my Sigma palettes more. I have quite a few, and I think I've only used like 2 or 3 of them. With the Sigma palettes, I think with my Shop My Stashes, I might start doing brands. Not for my full face, but palette wise. Like I might say, okay, for this Shop My Stash, I'm only using ColourPop palettes. Or for this Shop My Stash, I'm only using Beauty Bay palettes. Or I'm only using, you know, Morphe palettes. Something like that, just to kind of help me move through certain brands. But y'all know it's tough because your girl likes to mix it up, right? So we'll see. But I have a lot of brands where I have several palettes to where I could do that easily. So, but anyways, this next palette is the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Bonfire palette. Now, when I saw them tease this palette, I was like, oh, immediately yes. Immediately yes. I'll take 10 of them, right? Because the color story is just beautiful. Okay, I really need to use this quad over here, because I'm looking at this quad like, girl, Go on and do your little taupey, smoky situation, right? It has this beautiful red and orange situation, greens. It's just gorgeous. I tried to create a look using most of the shades in this palette, or at least sticking to the greens and the oranges, right? And I feel like I accomplished that. I love that eye look, honestly. I really, really do. I felt like I was in my little creative cut crease vibe, right? So I love the eye look that I did with this palette, but I'm staring over here. I can't stop staring over here, you guys. Let me know. Y'all want me to do a cute little taupey eye look with this little quad over here? Because you know I will. Your girl will do it. And just see how it looks on my eyes, right? Because I'm not sure. It might not be that cute. But, okay, so this next palette, the Pat McGrath Petalmorphosis. Gorgeous, right? So pretty. I feel like it seems like this palette came out like a year ago, and it didn't. And the thing is because in the beauty community, we see something teased, it comes out, there's all this hype over it, everybody is so excited, you use it, and then you never hear about it again. And it's crazy because I love this color story. I feel like, you know, it's one of her motherships, you know, of course. But I love this color story, and I feel like it's just absolutely gorgeous. But I felt like after it came out, everybody used it, gave their thoughts and opinions. You know, it's a beautiful color story. And of course, you know, the quality is amazing. It's like we used it and then we forgot about it. Like, I mean, at least for me, you know, it's like, I'm like, dang, that color story is beautiful. I wanted to revisit it, you know, and there's several different options in here for eye looks for me or whatever. But it's like I used it, I was excited about it, and then I just moved on. Of course, you know, me, I stopped using makeup altogether. But just in general, I'm just like, I don't even see anybody talking about it anymore on the tubes. And that's not abnormal because, you know, we see 50 palette launches every week. But this is a mothership. You know what I mean? This is a Pat McGrath mothership. And it's just, ugh. But yeah, it's gorgeous, you know, beautiful. It was something that was different, unique for her, you know, in her motherships. And so I'm just like, I need to revisit this. I do. It's not enough hours in the day, right? But anywho, love that palette, love the eye look. I really, really need to revisit it. So next I have a couple of Nomad palettes. This first one, this first one is the Route 66 palette, and I had this one for a while before I actually used it because, like I said, I wasn't really in my makeup vibe at the time that it was launched, and so it was just kind of like sitting on my desk waiting for me to play with it. But it's really cute. It has the whole Route 66 theming, different locations along Route 66. Why can't I say Route 66 today? But anywho, all the different locations, you know, that are attributed along Route 66. Just a very cute theming. You know, Nomad, their whole theming is travel, destination, location, palettes, right? And so this was one that, you know, I have to be honest, the color story did not pull me in. It really didn't. And I feel like that's probably why it took me a while to use it, because the color story just didn't pull me in. I mean, I love these beautiful shimmers in the center of the palette, and you know, it's like you have your neutrals and you have your greens. It just wasn't like something that made me want to reach for it and grab it ASAP. But the quality of this palette is great. Nomad's quality has really increased and just gotten better and better over the years, as well as their color stories, just because this isn't one that really spoke to me. I know this is one that maybe other people will really love because of the neutrals, the greens, and the beautiful shimmers. I was still able to create an eye look that I absolutely loved using this palette. I truly love that eye look. And so yeah, I would say it's a beautiful palette. It's not one that would be my first choice to use from Nomad. Now, the next palette from Nomad, I actually really, really love. It's a little bit more up my Color Story Alley, and it's their latest one, of course, their brand new Witch City Salem palette, which is their Halloween fall palette. I don't know if you can see the switch there because my ring light is just not being nice to me right now, but you can see here it switches. This Color Story is bomb, period, point blank. Okay, period, point blank. The versatility in this palette, the different options and maneuverability in this palette for your girl, what? It screams Halloween, it screams fall, it screams, you know, all of the witchy things, right? So you got all of your gorgeous purples, you got red, orange, green, you know, you got some smokiness down here, you got your black, your beautiful light shimmers. It's just a lot of variation in this palette, and if you like these type of witchy, Halloweeny color stories, then you will fall in love with this. The quality is amazing, okay? Quality is amazing. I can't say, it's like sometimes they do the really pretty sparkly shimmers, you know, the more gorgeous sparkly shimmers, and sometimes they do more, you know, toned down satin shades for people who prefer that, which, you know, I totally get that. I don't, but I totally get that. You know, some people don't want all the sparkly sparkles on their eyes. I get it. I do. So yeah, I love this palette. They have the bomb shimmers in here. The purples are gorgeous. The reds, it's just child. I only have a couple more and then we'll be done. So I did play around with this ColourPop Smoking Hot palette. Another brand where I really need to dive in and play with their palettes more than I do. I mean, I was looking at some of the palettes that I have from ColourPop. Like and it's like they're just beautiful palettes, right? I have them right here next to me. I might grab a few, right? But they're just gorgeous. Even the super large monochromatic palettes like these, I'm just like, you can do so much with them, and so many people can create eye looks that fit their skin tone, fit their vibe. You just have a lot of options and variety with ColourPop. You know, for the most part, their quality has really been consistent and been great. So anywho, yeah, another brand where I really need to dive in and just use their palettes more often is ColourPop. This Smoking Hot palette, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Created a really nice basic warm fall type look. That's what I was going for. It was just creating an easy simple fall look, and that's what it gave. And so yeah, I really had a good time using this palette. But let me just show you guys some of the palettes I'm talking about, because they're just really pretty, and they might seem like, oh, it's just a bunch of grays or it's just a bunch of browns, but when you look at them, they really give you the variety that you might want or need when you reach for a palette. You know, I know this is not a ColourPop video, but I was just looking at some of my palettes. Like this one is the Bare Necessities. And look at all these shades in here, and they have like pretty shimmers as well. But this is just a beautiful combination of warm tone shadows, and it's beautiful to me. It's really, really gorgeous. It truly is like the Bare Necessities, right? This Rock Candy palette, when I look at it, I'm just like, oh, look at that palette. It's like cool tone, beautiful. You got a little bit of warmth down here, but it's really a cool tone palette. You have like these beautiful pinks in here, grays, beautiful shimmers as well. Okay, I'm sorry, but the shimmers are just chapopping. This color story is bomb. Okay, love it. The precious metals. Okay, it's all shiny, so I don't want to blind you guys, but the precious metals, it's like when I look at this palette, I'm like, girl, you really need to play with this more. It's beautiful. It's kind of hard to show because it's so much shine and gleam, but it's a precious metals palette. You know, you got your warmth, you got your cool tones, you got your beautiful shimmers. It's like, if you like neutrals, I feel like you will love ColourPop. You know, just I know a lot of people don't like big palettes. They're like, I don't need all them shadows, but the palettes are so freaking cheap and affordable. Like, why not, right? Stone Cold Fox. Now this was one of my favorites. This is kind of similar to which one was it? The Rock Candy, I think, but it's just like this one is more like cool tone. It has more of the cool vibe to it. Has really pretty shimmers and stuff in here as well. Extremely beautiful neutral shades. Absolutely gorgeous. So this one is beautiful as well. Okay, but Smoking Roses. Smoking Roses. This one has like the pinky gray tones to it. Look at this. Look at this gorgeous color story. It is so, so pretty with the pinks and the child. Gone matte. So if you need a palette and you want it to just be all like mattes, you have your cool tones, you have your warm tones, you have all kind of light shades in here for various skin tones, you know, if you're a makeup artist. And then you have your deeper tones down here, all matte. This one is Matte About Hue. So this is another all matte palette, and this one is all about color. Okay, every rainbow color in the book that you might need or want, Matte About Hue. Now I don't know how many of these palettes they still sell or still have available, but ColourPop has sales quite often, you know, where you can get these palettes at a really, really good deal, a really, really good discount. And so I would say, if you want any, keep your eye out. Getting Fresh. This is one when it came out, I just had to have it. And you think I used it? No. But I had to have it. It was something about this beautiful pink and green and warm color story that just had me in a headlock. And it's still beautiful even right now. Looking at it, I'm like, I need to use this palette. And this last one that I pulled, I still have a couple more, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go through my whole ColourPop collection. It's a Mood. This is one of the more colorful ones that came out. And at the time that this came out, oh, we was falling all over ourselves for this palette because the color story was so beautiful and unique, you know? So now with so many indie brands, it's like something like this is really not that big of a deal to see or have. But you know, for ColourPop at the time, you know, they was switching it up. They was really giving us what we needed, what we wanted as color lovers. So anywho, this palette is beautiful. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to turn this into a ColourPop video, but I just really realized that I have so many palettes from certain brands that it's like, girl, Hooked in My looks up. So lastly, I did do a look there. This palette, I really wanted to dupe that Natasha Denona Gloom palette. Is it the Gloom palette? The Moody palette? The Gloom palette, I think. So I really wanted to dupe that palette. Nothing fancy. It's a very basic green, olive, sagey type palette. Little 5-pan. And so I did do a video where I created my own dupe of that palette. And so I did create a look. It's very simple, nothing extravagant, which is not an extravagant palette, but I did want to play around with those colors and just kind of scratch that itch for myself, because you know, a new palette comes out, sometimes we're just like, oh, I want that palette, it's so cute, da 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 da. Especially if it's a brand where you collect, you know, some, most, or all of their palettes, which Natasha Denona is a brand where I do collect most of her palettes. But I was like, I don't need that palette. So I created this palette with this look, and of course I love my little palette from my little singles that I used to create that look. So anywho, that's it, you guys. I will stop yapping. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me, just to kind of do a little overview of the palettes that I have used, give my little thoughts on them and how I feel about them. And yeah, that's it, you guys. So I will see you guys in my next video. Toodles!